Hu Tao has been loved by the community ever since her release. She has been a playable character in Genshin since version 1.3, and in her release, she was regarded as one of the best DPS characters in the game. However, this was during a time where Ganyu and Xiao were considered one of the best DPSs in the game. We are now in version 4.1 and Hu Tao is now in her third rerun banner alongside Nouvellette. So, is Hu Tao still a great character in Genshin? And should you pull for her? Hello and welcome to the Ecstatic channel, your go-to gameplay and tips channel for both LDOE and Genshin Impact. Today, we will be taking a deeper look at how Hu Tao compares with other characters as a main DPS, and if you should pull for her. Hu Tao is a polearm, pyro damage focused character, played as the main DPS of the team, making her a viable and powerful damage dealer. Especially when using hydro applicators like Xingqiu or Yelan or even both. With the last being a flex slot like Kazuha or any Anemo character using the VV set. Or shielding characters like Zhongli can be used as well, or Layla. Applying vaporize reactions is usually what you will be going for when playing Hu Tao. With this, it makes it really easy to build a team around her. Her team comp doesn't need to have 5-star characters like Yelan or Kazuha. Hu Tao can instead have a team of Xingqiu, Xiangling, and Sucrose as a free-to-play option. Hu Tao can also run with a melt team, alongside Ayaka, Diona, or maybe even Charlotte in the future, for consistent cryo application to apply melt reactions. Hu Tao's best in slot artifacts is the Crimson Witch of Flames. For her sands, the main stat can either be HP % or EM. And the substats focus on crit rate, crit damage, HP, and EM. As for her goblet, you would like to focus on getting pyro damage bonus. Finally, for her circlet, you would want to have either crit damage or crit rate. For the substats, prioritize crit rate and crit damage first, then HP % and elemental mastery. It was very difficult to collect these artifacts because it was a real pain to complete the artifact domain. And there was a chance that you would get the Lava Walker set. However, things would be easier in version 3.0, when Hoyoverse updated the Strongbox, adding the Crimson Witch of Flames with other artifacts as well. So, instead of completing the domain, we can get her artifacts from the Strongbox using trash artifacts to exchange for it. Ever since her release, Hu Tao has always been one of the strongest single-target DPS characters in the game. Even at Constellation 0, Hu Tao is still extremely powerful with her skill and burst damage. Hu Tao gains 33% pyro damage bonus when she's below 50% HP, which is why it is best to bring a shielder alongside her and to pair her with Xingqiu for a little bit of healing, so that it does not go over 50%. While she could do a high amount of damage from her burst, most of Hu Tao's power and damage comes from her skill and charge attacks. Her burst's damage and skill damage both scale to the amount of HP she has, and her total HP. Which is why it is best to have a high maximum HP, and use Hu Tao's burst when her current HP is low. Hu Tao at Constellation 0 specializes in vaporize reactions because of how good she synergizes with Xingqiu and Yelan, with their burst uptime. Hu Tao's charged attack can deal damage to multiple enemies at once, compared to like Yoimiya, who can only target one enemy at a time. Because of her high damage output and a double hydro team, Hu Tao has become one of the best DPS characters to use in the Spiral Abyss, especially in floor 11 and 12. When talking about weapons, Hu Tao has a wide range of them. Of course, her best in slot weapon being the Staff of Homa. She can use other 5-star weapons such as Staff of the Scarlet Sands and Primordial Jade Winged Spear. As for 4 stars, Hu Tao can use the Missive Wind Spear, Blackcliff Pole, and the Deathmatch. The Deathmatch is a balanced and consistent damage dealing weapon compared to other 4 stars, however it won't give you the highest damage output, as it only has a base attack of 454. However, at Refinement Rank 1, it boosts your attack by 24% when there is only one enemy, but when there are 2 or more, that attack is decreased to 16%, while defense is increased to 16% as well. Hu Tao can also use the Lithic Spear if she is running with other Liyue characters in a team like Xingqiu, Yelan, and Zhongli. This weapon gives an attack and crit rate increase, depending on how many Liyue characters there are in your team. For the final 4-star weapon, Hu Tao can use the Dragon's Bane. The Dragon's Bane is one of the easier weapons to get from the gacha, that you would have at least a copy or 2 of this weapon. The Dragon's Bane has a second stat of Elemental Mastery. And at Refinement rank 5, the Dragon's Bane will increase its damage against opponents that are affected by Hydro or Pyro by 36%. Because of this, it is great to have the 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames for Hu Tao, and you would probably have to play a Vaporized team to maximize her damage. When I said Hu Tao has a wide range of weapons, I mean, she has an actual wide range of weapons, because Hu Tao can also use the 3-star weapon White Tassel. It has 23.4% crit rate at max level. While at Refinement rank 5, which everyone has, the White Tassel increases the normal attack damage of the user by 48%. While Hu Tao is most definitely a powerful character, it is challenging to manage her stamina. At C0, Hu Tao consumes a lot of stamina when charge attacking, which is where her primary damage comes from. This stamina loss will affect the amount of damage in your rotations, and Hu Tao's survivability. The only way to solve this issue is gated through her Constellation 1. As her Constellation 1 makes her charged attacks not consume stamina. And since Hu Tao's skill also takes away HP from her, combining the issues of her stamina, you would almost always need to have Xingqiu alongside her, on any team comp. If you are a new player or plan on getting Hu Tao, it might be difficult to master her playstyle, without constantly getting hit all the time. Speaking of playstyle, it is one of Hu Tao's next drawbacks, if wishing for her. Other than getting C1, another way at solving Hu Tao's stamina issue is performing jump cancel animations. These jump cancel animations can be really difficult to do consistently, even to a well-seasoned player. At C0, these jump cancel animations are mostly performed rather than dash cancels, because dashing requires stamina as well. Another reason why is because of her long charged attack animation, which affects the amount of damage that you can output. Hu Tao's optimal playstyle can ultimately be the deciding factor for you to wish or to not wish for her. The last drawback of Hu Tao is the timing of her banner. Right now, we are in the beginning of the Fontaine updates and patches, which means more new characters from Fontaine. So, the question is, are you willing to give up your wishes and primogems for Hu Tao? Do you need a Pyro DPS character like her? And, are you willing on probably giving up on wishing for the new and upcoming characters, just for Hu Tao and her weapon? These are the questions you should be asking yourself, and the drawbacks you should be considering before pulling for Hu Tao. With these benefits and drawbacks of Hu Tao, it may be difficult to decide whether to wish for her or not. I didn't make this video to encourage players to pull or not pull for Hu Tao. However, I wanted to give you guys some insight before pulling for her. There are some very good DPS characters other than Hu Tao in the game, as well as a lot of great supports to complement them. In the end of the day, it is not always about the maximum amount of damage a character can do, nor how well a character can synergize with a team comp. But, rather it is about who you want to pull for, regardless of personal damage. If you want a great Pyro DPS character, and want to clear Spiral Abyss with ease, then maybe Hu Tao might be a good pickup for you. But, if you don't like her playstyle, then I can't say the same. You should always consider your enjoyability of the character, because it will always be the deciding factor on wishing for a character or not. Again, pull for who you want to pull. In the end of the day, there is no specific way to play Genshin. And with that, you have reached the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And see you all in the next video.